Let me move to other panelists, and I have Roberto Tapia, who has been working quien ha estado trabajando.
Roberto Tapia has been working in digital platforms. Roberto Tapia is pointing out in his summary that these digital platforms are vehicles so as to be able to connect citizens and institutions. Can you formulate something about this? Well, by all means, and thank you. We live in a digitalized world every day since we wake up, and even when we're sleeping, there are processes that are controlling our sleep. So it's nothing new that we're using this type of digital platforms to get communities together, bring about solutions, give solutions and tools, and by all means generate the empowerment or the strength that could be given to people and citizens. Now, there are many challenges. One, the content development. Take advantage of the digital highways. Another challenge is connectivity. In the case of migrating population, this is complied with because there's a lot of content. There's a great connectivity, and by all means, there's an interaction which is very active. The Latin population in the United States, and particularly the Mexican one, has 35% access to internet, and this is an enormous amount. And the connection to internet, 68% is done by phone. So this gives a certain portability and gives action to this information. So it's a low-cost information. Contents can be generated in Mexico. You put them to a platform. You carry out a campaign through different points and organizations so that the population will do it. And we have around 1.9 million Latin people making use of these digital platforms. And this is only in a young population, or do you see this in every single age group? Well, the average one is 27 of the 50 and some millions that are there, and the last ones that were born there, or they were born in Mexico and then they were migrating, well, the average is 27 years. This is a very active population in digital networks. So practically there's no barrier age-wise. Now, the socialization of the digital platforms is very well understood and is very well absorbed in higher ages if there's a greater concentration between the 20 and 35 years, but it is, let's say, gone to the right in the curve according to the use. Well, it changes. But we're interested in young people because we have to give them tools and action so that they can have the right track. We're very much interested in making the citizenship line a line track, and then 10 days ago we signed with the Dean Graue an agreement to use the seats of UNAM to train these people and make it a more accelerated action. And the National Commission of Human Rights to convey the topic of rights that the migrants have in the United States. California is the entity number 1 for the access on this platform. This is a vehicle that's not only an education one or for job opportunity, but is it a vehicle of defending human rights? Yes, 100%. What you said, Jaime, we enable the citizenship to be discriminating. The American society has been a society with discrimination. They have lived this, but there was no environment where they allowed them to talk about discriminating somebody because they appeared near my house. Now I can do it in the streets. This is generating hatred, fear. The communities double their hands, and then they can have access to have the information and the rights without going out in the streets. Second, having the opportunity to train, to know what to do and what are the steps to follow to reach the level of documentation and migration status. But, on the other hand, we had set up a platform to help those that are in crisis. Intervention in psychological crisis. This is an inline operating 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Call centers and by WhatsApp, which is a communication tool which they prefer. And with the SEP, with the people that come back, and UNAM, with a series of universities in the United States, those that come back, automatically the studies will be credited. There's a change in the legislative chamber, the upper and the lower chamber. The student that will come back and comes to study, they should study immediately, and then all the paperwork and all that will be done later on. This is a platform of education, rights, and people are used to do it. So it's a very good investment, very good investment. We can fight and we can avoid any war, and we go to the special niches in populations that many a time they retract themselves. So the war will not stop internet. No, the war won't stop anything. That's what I think. Mexico has shared history, different academic actions. We are an intellectual society, so what the digital platforms do is increasing this capacity of making much more effective, empowering the citizenship. And with this, the people feel power, and then they communicate when their rights are violated. And I have to say something. I have to admire the way the ministries is working through a consular center. There's a center of help, support, cooperation. UNAM is very active as well. So when you have an enemy in front of you, you get together. We have made a great union of citizenship and institutions so as to be much more aware of what is happening to that population, migrating because they have a spirit of struggle, fighting for a better life. They can fight adversity. That is why they went and they left and they tried to find new horizons. Tell me, what are you doing to make these educational online methods, Caracademy in Spanish? What we did in the foundation, Carlos Lim, we translated mathematics, physics, sciences, and all that. They were all translated. The platform is both in English and in Spanish. Remember that there's a population group that does not speak Spanish, so then they have it in English. But we did the translation into Spanish. We place it online. It's an agreement of access line. It is a platform in the United States. It is a university, the largest one in Mexico and in the world. And in Mexico, there will be a lot of users. Latin access. And there are agreements, and they have agreements with MIT. We're about to sign agreements with the University of Miami. And there are all elements. The great challenge has to do with contents. We have to place them on the platform, help people to have access to that, to understand it, and they should certify. They should have some benefit, if not It's learning for the sake of learning, but it adds something else to have a certificate, a diploma. What metric? What is the measure to, how can we measure digital platforms? What is the success of impact? This is a good question, but very difficult. It is absolutely impossible to say if this is modified or not. And we are, I forgot something. It doesn't mean that I don't want to answer the question, but we had the platform of financial support. I missed and I skipped that. From this platform, they can use the money which is not total, $1,500 or $1,000. Many times they don't have it. Nowadays, you can have the metrics that a Google can give you. You can have specific metrics, but if you tell me from a social perspective if they had an impact or not, now I wouldn't have the answer. Thank you, Roberto.